Welcome to the Workplace Safety Inspection module. This module has been revised for online training in October 2020. What is a workplace inspection? The workplace safety inspection is a crucial component of an accident prevention program. It allows us to proactively identify actual and potential workplace hazards, such as hazardous acts or conditions, and to ensure that preventive measures are taken. I've highlighted the word workplace on this slide. It's important to note that you are not inspecting for student safety or the safety of the public. While you are free to note those issues and advise your principal, this form is not the right spot to record those concerns. This document becomes a document that can be reviewed by the Ministry of Labour, Training and Development Services. As it is not making the workplace unsafe for staff, a broken slide or swing would not be recorded on this form. The intent of the workplace inspection is not just to identify the hazards, but to take the appropriate actions to ensure the hazard is resolved. Why do we complete workplace inspections? Workplaces in Ontario with greater than 5 workers are required by the Ontario Occupational Health and Safety Act to have a worker safety representative inspect the safety of the workplace at least once a month. In addition, these inspections allow the workplace to practice due diligence, in that inspections allow the employer to take all reasonable precautions to prevent injuries and accidents in the workplace. By identifying actual and potential hazards, reducing unsafe conditions and unsafe practices, and improving system effectiveness, employers can reduce the potential for and frequency of workplace accidents and injuries. Inspections allow us to identify areas of concern, but also to determine opportunities for improvement and to take preventive measures. Inspections allow us to identify areas where housekeeping can be improved in order to mitigate risk. The legislation governing the requirement for monthly workplace safety inspections is the Occupational Health and Safety Act. The Act stipulates that members who represent workers shall designate a member representing workers to inspect the physical condition of the workplace. This means that workers cannot be voluntold into the role of workplace safety inspector. They must be voted in by their peers. It also requires that the members of the committee are not required to designate the same person to perform all inspections. The minimum requirement here is that one worker representative needs to complete the monthly inspection each month. You don't always have to be completing the inspection in teams. A principal cannot, or vice principal, cannot complete the inspection on their own without a worker member. Another requirement of the legislation is that we need to inspect the physical condition of the workplace at least once a month. The requirements in our school board are governed by our Joint Health and Safety Terms of Reference. We'll discuss a little later how much of the workplace needs to be inspected each month. The legislation allows for our schools to be inspected in part each month. It requires your school committee to establish and post on your safety bulletin board a schedule of which area will be inspected each month. While the dates are flexible, I would encourage you to try and schedule inspections to occur in the first half of the month, as this allows some leeway for rescheduling if necessary while still maintaining legislative compliance. The employer is required to provide information and assistance for the purpose of carrying out the inspection. We do this via this training happening today. And lastly, the member shall inform the Joint Health and Safety Committee of situations that may be a source of danger or a hazard to workers. We'll discuss the eBase program a little later, but there is a minutes template on the eBase program that your committee in the school will complete 4 times each year. This is how you will communicate situations of concern to your Joint Health and Safety Committee. You may also contact any of the members of the Joint Health and Safety Committee at any time that you need them. Their names and numbers are posted on the Health and Safety Bulletin Board in your school. This slide and the next will summarize the responsibilities of your Workplace Site Inspection Committee. Each September, your committee is required to create a workplace inspection schedule and indicate the month and location that will be inspected each month. Each September, your committee is also asked to review the worksite inspection protocol for an understanding of your obligations. This can be found in the eBase program. Monthly, your inspection committee is required to ensure that a workplace inspection is completed. You'll ensure that all hazardous areas are concluded every month. Hazardous areas include such locations as custodial closets, labs and science areas, tech shops in secondary schools, hazardous waste storage, kitchens, art areas, and even gymnasium closets. There's also a sampling of classrooms that will be inspected each month. Our terms of reference with the Ministry of Labor allow for academic classrooms to be inspected in rotation with the following requirements. If your school has 20 or more classrooms, the frequency of classroom audit is every 3 months. If your school has 11 to 19 classrooms, the frequency of inspection is every 2 months. And if your school has 0 to 10 classrooms, the frequency of classroom inspection is that the entire facility must be inspected each month. Be sure when you're doing your inspection to include inside and outside of the facility. And don't forget to look in offices, stairwells, hallways, storage areas, gym, art, drama areas. Look at outside lighting, access and egress routes, and trip hazards. When completing your monthly safety inspection, you need to ensure both the inside and outside of the worksite is inspected. Don't forget that your worksite includes sheds, parking lots, walkways, stairs and railings, and even the schoolyard in terms of possible trip hazards. You will need to print the inspection report and sign it, posting it on your Health and Safety Bulletin Board. In terms of distribution, all of the requirements for distribution are completed by the eBase program, provided you are reporting your inspections within eBase. Quarterly, the worksite inspection team meets to discuss safety concerns at your facility and ensure follow-up actions are being taken. At this time, previous reports can be reviewed and minutes are required to be kept. You can record these minutes in the eBase template and print a copy to post on your safety bulletin board. By doing this, the distribution requirements are met by the eBase program itself.